Welcome. Today, as the title suggests, we're going to be working with flowers, and particularly the layered flowers that I sell in my Etsy shop, Debbie's Crafty Hands. Right, we shall begin, as they say. First of all, for those who haven't seen my stock, so 1.5, 1 inch and 1/2 inch. Today I'm going to be concentrating on making the 1.5 inch, which consists of petals, 2 1.5 inch layered petals, which are all pre-cut form. Well, I cut them, but I store them pre-cut, ready to make up in batches. So we would put a layer of 1.5 inch on top of each other, so they're crosswise to each other to form the full circle of flowers. And then I will get the next size, and I will choose an appropriate colour to go to the middle, and next layer on, and then the next size down, and then I will finish it off with a little, trying to find an appropriate colour for the next size down in my bundle across the way here. So something along those lines, and then I would find an appropriate gem to put in the middle to match the colour. Got a selection here, but over to the side of me I have quite a large choice, probably about 50 different colours and styles. So I shall make the flowers, make some room here. I glue them down with my Kalal glue, and it holds the gems quite nicely as well, so that's always good. I do a little circle, pop the layer on top, put it down. Now, generally speaking, I don't do individual flowers like layer one on top of the other. I tend to do it in batches, so I'll do all the pairings of the first layer, then bring it through and bring the next size petals in, etc. So that's what I'll be doing in a minute, but just wanted to show you the process behind. So now these little green ones are slightly too small for this size flower. So the darker green is smaller than the lime green, so I use the lime green. Now the darker green is used for smaller flowers, such as the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch. So that's our completed one. Now I'll start doing them in batches. So what I do is I lay them out different colours, and as I lay them out I might find, for instance, this one will go quite nice over the top of this one, so I'll then glue that together. I try and make each flower as unique as possible, I mean within the limitations of what I have available to me. So this one is now a double layer. I'll bring this one forward, and I found a nice shiny purple over the top, and I just sit until I've made up a few, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 double layers, allow the glue to dry, then come back in with the next layer. So a little bit about myself, how everything started. The Etsy shop started when I needed a hobby that I could pick up and drop down if I had to quite quickly, and this seemed to be quite an easy craft to do that with, and the reason behind that is I was at that point nursing my late husband. He didn't need a lot of attention, but he did need to have someone with him most of the time. So it was a case of keeping myself occupied while keeping an eye on and making sure he was okay in between sort of the care. And I had so many flowers that I didn't really know what to do with them. I couldn't make the cards enough to use them all up. So I took the plunge and I started my Etsy shop, and that was a few years ago now. And it was in the January. And I've now decided to do the YouTube, and once again started in the January. And the YouTube, yes, I'm not going to harp on with my Etsy shop on general episodes, but I do want people to know how things are produced and how handmade they are. I don't look for perfection, so at the end here there's a little bit of a white bit. That doesn't bother me, and it just organic. It's a very niche word, I suppose, organic, but I'm not a machine, and even machines can go wrong, and I like to show that things, what they originally were, maybe. So this, for instance, was originally the inside of an envelope, as was this, as was this. So immediately you got 3 different textures, slightly different colour patination, just from inside of envelopes. Now, because the envelope can be a bit thin and I need this to be a little bit firmer to handle the petals, I have layered it on copy weight paper just to give it a bit of oomph before I hole punched it. I use packaging. I use Christmas crackers, outsides of. This one is an old Christmas card base that I never made into a card. Another inside of an envelope. This one's actually Marks and Spencer's paper bag. And they're quite nice because it gives all different coloured tones. So we have the blue tone and we have the reddy purple tone. So, you know, that gives you different shades to work with. I also get white packaging sometimes, which I use crayons or paints or markers to give myself some colour. So, oh yes, other things that I use are book pages. And book pages, I normally have to scan the page to make sure that there's no words that will be inappropriate to be displayed. Although you don't really see much of the lettering, so it's not too bad. And sometimes I might paint the book pages. I tend to do them 2 pages thick, so stick one page to the other just to give it a little bit of heft. I'm currently layering my first layers of flowers on my 1.5-inch flowers, and we're making this size here. I've got greys, I've got pinks, I've got blues, I've got purples, I've got pale pinks, I've got black and white, greens.
Lots of greys.
I'm not talking about the hair. Goodness me. Can't take him anywhere, can you? So I was discussing the type of papers that I can use. It needs to be lightweight cardboard or thick paper or double copy weight paper, sort of thickness. So if you tap 2 pieces of copy paper together, then that will be the thickness you would need to have, because petals need to be a little substantial to stand up to, you know, being put on cards and posted, etc, etc. Cereal boxes, you can use them, but it depends on the product. So I use a sort of hand punch to print out my punch out my petal shapes. So it depends on the, I would say a tissue box would be too thick, but some cereal boxes, especially nowadays they're cut in corners, would be suitable. It's whether my hole punch will go through it basically, and sometimes it can be a bit thick. Do a couple more of these and then we'll do the next layer. Basically 4 layered flowers. I put them on half A4 size cards with the corners rounded, and display them 15 per card, and they're then posted in a padded envelope to help protect them. It's been fun trying to work out what works and what doesn't work regarding the types of materials you can use. Some work better than others. Some stick better than others. I've learned that the glue I had previously been using wasn't strong enough to hold more slick surfaces, like the shinier surfaces, and it would slide off. So that's why I've gone over to Kalal glue. Excuse me, who invited you to the party?
Oh, and of course Mia.
And it's definitely a live show, although she has appeared in...
She may have appeared in a video,
several videos, yes.
While I think about it.
No, we don't have any red. Have a little bit of red here. Ooh, that's a nice one. Nice bit of sparkly red. Not sure where that came from, but no, I try and make it as fun and enjoyable to watch as I can. If there are... We're learning all the time. We've done a dozen videos so far. Now doing my next layer onto, so there'll be 4 layers on each that I've done paired with the 1.5-inch petals, and now I'm doing my inch layer. So I need this size petal. Right, so we've got a nice selection of that next size. If you've enjoyed the videos thus far, you know, share with your friends, family, etc.
Pets, whatever.
Your pets, yeah, the fox out in the garden.
Cats certainly seem to love the show.
We're happy with any viewers to help get us going. Top up my glue bottle, I think. Using quite a bit of it recently. I have a little long nozzle bottle for fine work, but it's basically Kalal glue that's been ported into the little bottle. I'll do that one, or did I just place it? No, I did put it. That is a nice. So how many of you watching at the moment have seen the first few episodes, and what did you think of them? We're all learning, or hopefully you're learning from what I'm showing you. Is the content too simplified, too complicated? Good to know. I've got a thick skin, so if it's a load of rubbish, then it's a load of rubbish. Now I do need to fill up my bottle, so might be the opportunity to show you how I fill it up.
A bottle? Glue bottle?
Glue bottle.
Okay. Your glue bottle flies?
It has a... I'm ignoring that one. It has a pin that goes into the nozzle, which in theory stops the glue coming out, but it's a little bit loopy sometimes. Then it has metal spout and has a screw top.
Is it short and stout?
Oh no, that's me. My Kalal bottle, basically it's a twist opening. So that's closed, that's open, and it allows the glue to flow round. So I steady my little bottle, have the Kalal glue a 45-degree angle, and pour slowly, squeezing gently and almost like glooping it out, watching the level of where it is. You need to let it flow and stop, just so that you can see what level it's come up to, because it's sometimes quite difficult to judge. So I bring it up just to below the neckline. If you can see the colour difference there. Yeah. And I will close this before I forget. The glue dries out, and then take the dried on layer off the top of this one, so that when I come to take my lid off again, it's not stuck to it. And I can glue my lid back on, and I found this Kalal does stick well to like the glittery pages or the shiny and the sheer glossy sort of.
I mean, quite a large page of them. Is this a normal size? Or is this XL size page?
Page of...
Like this back thing that you're using here.
This page is A4 size.
I mean, it's bigger than what you would normally send out, is it? Or
yes. When I send them out, there will be 15 to a page, so it would be... I mean, these aren't completed, but I can show you the rough
roughly
layout.
A size? A5 size, is it?
It will be half A4.
Yeah, usually A5.
And there will be
the A scale works.
a bit of a selection. So there will be 5 along, 3 down. I use washi tape, low tack tape, in order to stick them on. So I would roll it round to itself and stick it on, and then put it on the bottom and then stick it on the card. So whoever receives them will then be able to peel them off nicely, but without ripping the card, which they can then reuse, and more importantly without ripping the bottom of the flowers. One thing about having the this glue too full, you have to make sure you put the pin in each time, because it does bubble up and you end up with a big bobble on the end. Okay, so we need some blue. Now let's get rid of some of these big ones because I don't need them anymore at the moment. That one. Yeah, that one. So this is our finished product that we're hoping to emulate and achieve this sort of that finished result. That one. I think of that one, Pete. Is it brown?
Which one?
This one.
No, I don't think so.
If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because
Yeah,
then
every little helps.
you won't miss an episode.
Yeah.
It will benefit you as well as me. Oh yes.
Yeah. So
We've had a little bit of incident, shall we say?
drop of bother.
A little drop of bother, yes. Oh, a big drop of bother actually.
Oh dear.
A big drop of super noodle, pot noodle thingy.
So that one is fine. Maybe a little bit smudged.
Got a little damp in the process.
But speaking of Mudge.
Mudge is our bumblebee. He did originally open up to go on to a book corner as a bookmark, but he's now just a corner decorator, because he got stuck together by pot noodle goop. So unfortunately, but we managed to clean him up.
For the most part, he's got a bit. Yeah, he's got a bit wibbly on the back.
Bit wibbly wobbly, but
yeah,
we managed to save what we could, but we couldn't save the opening that went over the.
Fortunately, we did manage to take that lovely.
We got our thumbnail taken beforehand.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have been a bit more of a disaster. This one is done with crayon. So again, I think I said earlier that I sometimes colour them in, just sit and colour in this from a food packaging, I believe. And it gives like a texture to it, because you see the little bit of the background and the colour. Sometimes it's fun to make them clash but go at the same time. You get my drift. Like this one. It sort of works, but not at the same time.
Very loud.
Yes. Well, colour needs to be loud. It needs to be loud and proud. Okay. Right, so that's our 20 on the third layer. Oh, that's the wrong size. Keep picking up the wrong size now. Normally I have them separated, but I've got them in a nice big pile now, so. Ones I'm after now. 2021.
The teeny weeny.
Teeny weeny ones.
Itty bitty. That might go well with the one next to the gem. Is that too matchy, samey, or is that giving a nice bit of contrast there? Do let us know what you think. So we want to not just do these. We want to design these with everyone else, not just Debbie here doing them on her own, or giving me giving a bit of input.
Nice and sparkly. Right, is that sparkly in focus?
Ooh. Sparkly. Out. All right then.
This one.
Now we go.
Seem to get used to the idea of working away from the centre of the body, so to speak. Normally I have it pulled right forward towards me and my head over the top, but I don't want to get my head in the camera and I don't want to take my things out of view.
Doing pretty well, I think. Good.
Or I get a gentle hand on my elbow, pushing my elbow into position. I parfait for rounded corners, and it will be. I'm starting to use colour paper or coffee dye paper, nice paper like this, slight pattern on it, so that I had been using basic white card, but I thought, well, if you're going to send things on a bit of a card, why not make it so that someone can use the card as well as the product? You know, give them value for money. And I hope they're value for money. I might have to review my prices. In the UK, I don't charge postage. I do have to charge postage for sending abroad, and there are several UK European countries I will post out to. So if you're interested, then I do post outside the UK, but it will be postage charge. So if you want to place an order, it might be worth your while placing a larger order. I'm not just pumping for sales, but to make it worth your while. That's how it would be. Obviously completed ones laid out so that there's a good variety on each page. I've got them all muddled up again. Double check through them as to which ones have been centered on. There's centre bit put on. I think there was only a few left. That one's not, that one's not, that one has. Got a couple. Those who want a bit of silver. We don't want plain silver because we've got pattern, plain. We need a bit of pattern in the middle. Silvery toned or greys. Or a complete contrast, like a possible, like a pink or something. Just bring the greys out. Oh yes, I like that one.
I'm thinking it's sinister.
Plonk, plonk, plonk. I think the cat's playing the piano now.
So if you bring that down a little bit, there we go. That's fine.
Oh, in
I think
the money shot.
new subscribers. So thank you everyone who has subscribed and
Yeah,
liked,
brilliant.
etc. And commented obviously for this video and any of our previous videos as well.
Just remains to be said, much love and see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.